Hi, welcome back to Beauty Potato. I'm Cheryl. Today I'll be sharing with you why and how I chose to live sustainably. I just started this journey maybe around 6 months ago, so I'm still very new and I'm learning a lot of things. So I'd like to share with you what steps I've taken to try to not cause as much damage to the environment and the world. I feel that my perspective in life has changed a lot ever since I've started on this sustainable living journey. I used to be a meat eater and a consumer of fast fashion, and I dispose of things that I don't want without batting an eye, without caring about what will happen to this trash and the effects it has done on our environment. What happened at the start of this year, I guess everybody's aware, COVID-19. This change in our new normal enabled me to work from home and actually reduce my step counts every day by a lot. I used to be able to hit 10k steps every day easily, and now I've been working from home for the past maybe 6 months. My step count per day is maybe around 2,000 steps at most. So initially, I didn't know that I would even embark on this journey. I just wanted to have a healthier lifestyle and maybe to not keep gaining weight since I've been inactive at home. All I wanted was to maintain my weight or even lose a bit of my weight at the start. I began researching about how to diet, how to lose weight in a healthy way, and then I found that going plant-based could be a good idea for me. So I started researching on whether having a plant-based diet is enough nutrients for our body to go about on our daily activities, and whether is it going to be detrimental on my health. So what I did was I went to look at YouTubers, I went to look at documentaries on Netflix, and I found this documentary that literally changed how I think and how I eat. So this documentary is called What the Health. It mainly shows the negative impacts on eating meat and the negative impacts agriculture is bringing to the world. Being plant-based can be a very healthy thing. And after watching What the Health, I watched Game Changers, which also features the similar kind of content that eating plant-based is healthy for us. On the documentary Cowspiracy, I saw how they slaughtered the animals and that those animals are kept in very small spaces, which caused them to have some unnatural growth like pus on their body, and then it was just removed abruptly from the body after they have killed the animal, and it caused me to really decide to stop eating meat because of all this meat that has this unnatural growth on them. I doubt it's even healthy for me to consume them. On May 2020, I decided that I'll stop eating meat. And now it's October 2020 and I've successfully the need to eat meat. However, I'm still unable to remove dairy and eggs completely from my life. But I try to cook vegan meals if I have the chance to do so. And I'm really happy that actually I can see that in Singapore, slowly but gradually, there are more shops that offers vegetarian meals or vegan meals. Also, I learned that being a vegetarian or vegan use much less water and land resources to maintain this diet, as shown on the clip. After learning what the dairy industry and agriculture does damage to our environment, I start to be exposed to more of the damage the human population is doing to the environment, and some on the documentary A Plastic Ocean, seeing all those sea animals suffer from all the plastic waste that we are dumping into the oceans or even on landfills. It got me thinking about what I can do to reduce the plastic waste that I'm currently throwing into our landfill. I'm pretty sure you have seen the video of somebody trying to pull out a huge piece of plastic straw from a tortoise's nose. So that is really what is happening in our world. I feel strongly that I need to do something about how I'm living my life and how I'm discarding things that I don't want mindlessly. Talking about trash, what Singapore is doing is they will collect all the rubbish that we throw out, and then they will burn it in an incinerator, and after that they will put the ashes in a landfill in this island called Semakau. I've learned that this landfill can only last until 2035, and that we shouldn't be just complacent thinking that, oh, the rubbish that I throw away is not going to be trapping sea animals, it's not going to stuff a straw into tortoise. And this landfill, like I mentioned previously, it will only last until 2035, and the government will probably need to come up with more other options on how to dispose of this waste. Something that I'm happy about is that we actually have these recycling bins below our houses, and then also other options on even recycling e-waste. What I do is I let my family members know what items are recyclable and have them dump those items inside a basket, and then we will clear this basket out every weekend. Once you got used to this routine, it gets really easy to do so. For example, the pasta bottles that you finished, You can give it a rinse and then you can just put it inside the basket for recycling. I put a link down below for you to download for the items that can be recycled in our Singapore recycling bins. You can also get that list from the QR code that is sticked on to the recycling bins. If you want to push it a bit further about food waste that you create, maybe you can think about trying home compost. My husband has tried doing home compost and it actually succeeded. Not only does it help to fertilize the plants, it causes less waste that we produce to be put inside the landfills. Here I'm showing you the statistics of Singapore's recycling rate, and you can see that there's a lot more that we can do as individuals to help bring up this rate. Other than recycling, I think we can also follow the 5 R's instead of the 3 R's that we were taught since young. What these 5 R constitute is refuse, reuse, reduce, recycle, and rot. So what hit me the most for this new 5R is the refusing part of it. It actually works perfectly with on how I like to lead a minimalistic life. Refusing to purchase many of the items that are actually not required is very important now for these 5 R's to help our environment. I'm pretty sure you know what reduce, reuse, recycle mean. And then the last one, which is rot. What I mentioned previously about the home compost, which is something that can be done easily as well. So I'd like to show you what zero waste swaps I have done in my lifestyle. Firstly, facial towel. In the past, after I finish bathing, before I put on any skincare products, I will use a piece of tissue to dry my face. Now, I switched to using a facial towel and I've really seen the impact of how much less tissue I'm using per day. The next change that I adopted was I changed to using shampoo bars and bar soap. Without the bulky plastic bottles that used to contain my liquid shampoo and liquid soap, now I can see that my bathroom is a lot less cluttered with all the plastic bottles. Oh yeah, don't forget that actually your plastic bottles can be recycled, so please don't throw them in the dump, put them inside the recycling bins. And the next change I made was actually on my menstrual cycle. This may be TMI, but I really like to share with you all of waste we ladies actually produce if we use tampons and sanitary pads on a monthly basis. Here are some figures on how much trash we create just purely on our period products. You can see here that in 2 years we produced 3 kg worth of trash, and in my lifetime I will probably have created 57 kg worth of trash just from my period products. And if we look at Singapore's female population, around 2 million, just an estimate, it will be over 100 million kg worth of waste that we are producing on a whole country basis. So what I've done is I've switched to using the menstrual cup and also washable sanitary napkins. Other than those changes, I started to bring a recyclable bag wherever I go so that I do not have to get plastic bags. Also, I try to bring the containers with me when I go and tapao my food. Other than those zero waste swaps that I mentioned, I also think that we need to look into what the manufacturer and the companies are pushing out to us at the expense of some other people. You know how sweatshops are actually producing most of our clothes, and that $5 t-shirt that you thought is at a bargain is actually cheap for you, but somebody else out there is actually paying the cost on your behalf. Many of the people that are producing all these clothes for you are not even paid a living wage, and they are exploiting young children to produce the clothes that you wear, your $5 t-shirt. I feel that I personally need to do something about not supporting the companies that are actually exploiting other people. I chanced upon this website called Good On You, which gives rating to each company on how they are doing for the sustainable environment and whether they are paying the people living wage or not. So they have ratings about H&M, Uniqlo, Zara on their website. It's really interesting to read about behind the scenes what is happening from producing these clothes. Also on Good On You, they have discussed about what material clothes are made from, whether cotton is it really sustainable. There are also many articles on materials that are so-called more eco-friendly and whether is it really true. Not only that, they have made an article to compare Nike versus Adidas on who is actually putting in more effort to a sustainable environment. If you want to know the answer, go to the website and check it out. After learning about how to live a more sustainable life, it's hard to turn back. Now that I've learned about how to live more sustainably, when my consumer mind kicks in, it's a lot easier to curb my impulse to purchase something already. I revived this old jewelry that my relatives got for me from my 21st birthday. It was super oxidized and tarnished, but I revived it with just using toothpaste. As much as I want to be full-on eco-warrior, I'm aware that it's actually costly to support all the companies that are not exploiting the labour. So I tell myself that step by step, I can slowly change my lifestyle instead of burning a huge hole in my bank account by replacing all my items with sustainable sources. I hope that having me share my point of view, you will also look into how you can live your life slightly more sustainable and maybe even order more Thai for your Thai fun. Now I'd like to end off this video with showing you a short clip on what the famous David Attenborough has done for a documentary called The Life of Our Planet. Do give it a watch, it's already on Netflix.
I am David Attenborough and I am 93. I've had the most extraordinary life. It's only now that I appreciate how extraordinary. Human beings have overrun the world. We're replacing the wild with the tame. The story of how we came to make this our greatest mistake. And how, if we act now, we can yet put it right. And I'm going to tell you how.
And thank you for watching today, and that's all. Bye!